Let's
go.
maklit.
Yeah, let's go.
Makliting.
Yeah.
We mix Hebrew with English, makliting. It's the
Yeah.
present tense of recording in Hebrew.
Haklet, please.
Yes. Welcome, Amit.
Hey, Ohad. How you doing?
Good, man. How are you doing? Good to have you here.
Yeah, so happy to be here. Like among so many great talents that I already heard in your podcast. It's like amazing. I just like wanted to see what it's about and hear, a little bit. But then I kind of like I found myself hearing every single minute of it. So
Everything you heard until now?
yeah, until
Wow.
now, I don't know. Somehow
What an
I just
honor,
got
man.
drawn into it.
This is really impressive. Thank you. Did you learn something new from the podcast?
Yeah, a lot. Like, first of all, some of the things were kind of like a punch in the gut. Like when I kind of getting to know how people like manage themselves and like do the things that kind of like I wish that I could do myself, like with my own music and like promotion and everything. And then it's like like some people, they're saying like get up and do it, and then it's like, oh man, like I feel it's so hard for me, like making the music is like, it's first like it's kind of like the easiest thing, but then like getting it out there,
Yeah.
it's like,
That's the most challenging in music.
yeah, definitely. So and other things were like really inspiring about like creative process of other people, and like some things like I could like really relate to a few people that kind of like had similar experiences to what I had with my music. So it was like really nice to kind of like know, okay, I'm not the only one who went through that like process.
Yeah, I like it when I see a lot of people who are doing something similar to what I do, and then I see what is similar, what is not similar, and I get inspired by those people. And it's also, we talked about it before, that the quality of the people that were on the podcast
Yeah,
is
like
really incredible.
every single one of the people who were here, like, man, it's like that so talented, and
Yes.
like I don't know, it was like and like I felt that, okay, I'm gonna be there, and I'm I feel like really humbled that I'm in such a place that like promotes such great talent. So like being among all
Yeah, man.
these amazing people, it's like
It's nice.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
very humbling as well for me to have space.
yeah,
And
it's great. Like
I think you also deserve to be, of course, in those high talents here in this podcast.
yeah,
And
I
you have
wish.
crazy project. Basically, you came here to introduce the project that you're working on. It's a solo project of yours, and
Yeah,
everything you do yourself, right?
yeah, almost everything.
Almost
Like
everything.
it's a thing.
What is the name of the project? Maybe introduce it a little
Hollowfame.
bit.
Hollowfame.
Yeah.
That's the name of the project. It's kind of it was my own thing, but I knew from the first moment that it's not gonna be under my name, because like I like my when initially I kind of started working on finding new material, I I really thought that it should be a band. So like so I started like writing. It wasn't even like starting just writing in the like in the normal sense of the things, because everything was kind of like backwards for me, because I was used to playing with other people. I was used to even like producing other people and like working and arranging and kind of all the creative processes that I was part of were like other people were kind of like starting it, writing the music, and then like I came in and helped with whatever I could, like helping in the writing process a little bit, changing the songs and
Polishing a
arrange.
bit here, polishing there.
Yeah, But then,
But you never wrote from scratch any of those
yeah,
songs.
that was the thing. Like even when I had a band in Tel Aviv like 15 years ago, it was also like as a result of a friend coming to me and said, "Yeah, here I have these ideas. Please come and let's do something together with them." And then like he kind of played the ideas to me, and then I said, "Yeah, we can do like this and we can do like that." And so it was always like a thing that someone else needs to start, and then I can come in and bring a lot of things to the table. But I really needed someone else to initiate the thing.
Mm.
So and at that point, I was in a place in my life where I was so like frustrated that I didn't have like a real thing that I can rely on musically and have fun with, and
No
like
one ignites the fire.
yeah. And like one of my friends, my good friends, told me like, what are you waiting for? You should just like do something yourself. And I told him, no, it's not. I don't think that I can do it by myself. I don't think I'm good enough to write anything from scratch. And so fast forward a few years later, I just found myself, okay, I'm I'm frustrated enough from this situation that I'm willing to start doing something. I didn't know what I'm gonna do. I didn't know what it's gonna turn out in the end. I just knew that I can't I can't keep playing other people's music, and like playing parties that like I really loved playing parties with good friends and good musicians, and the music is good, but then like it's not really like feeling that I have something that I'm really really connected to, like spiritually. And
What kind of music was in the parties that you
well,
played?
top 40, like the usual thing,
Pop.
like top 40 top,
Mm.
like pop, like Rihanna and
Mm.
all this. It's kind of like a blur when I kind of start thinking of it. Like, but everything, it was like I was in bands that kind of took whatever is popular right now that DJs play and just like move it to a live situation
Yeah. It was for the money, basically.
only for the money.
That's the horror
But
moment.
I know, like we really had fun, and like I was lucky enough to do this in very very good and reputable bands and with amazing musicians that I always had fun with. But then, like, I was frustrated that I'm not doing anything original. So so then at that point I kind of I didn't like I didn't know what to do, but I kind of started a process where I knew, okay, this is the time for me to just try and do something, even though that even though that I'm not sure that kind of I'm if I'm worthy enough to do something. And all this thing, like I think I'm not the only one who feels that
Yeah,
way.
man. We all have this.
Yeah, so um so I kind of just started with actually I came across a book by Julia Cameron, I think. It's like The Artist's Way.
All right.
If anyone knows about this book,
How to
that's
be creative, unlock your inspiration.
yeah, kind of. And it's not like only for musicians
Mm.
or like sculptures, but it's a kind of like a book that helps you get in a kind of a situation with yourself that you're kind of drawing uh, drawing creativity out of yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, I
And
think you can be creative. Anything that you do can be creative. you can clean your house in a creative way.
Yeah, the thing is like if I go like another fast forward to like where I was like really in the creative process, and I was kind of trying to get some lyrics out of myself, and that was like the like it was the last thing. It was all backwards, so the lyrics came last. But then I was it was COVID, and it was like I had to get another job because there were no shows and were nothing, and I found myself like working in a restaurant, like as a cook and as a dishwasher or whatever. And I kind of like I'm finding myself like washing dishes, and like lines are coming to me, and like, oh, this sounds good, yeah, yeah, maybe, and I'm gonna fit it like that way, and yeah, and it's gonna sound that way. So a lot of the creativity can come in in different
Yeah,
situations.
man. Dishwashing is very meditational kind of activity to do.
Yeah, kind of. But it depends, because like even now in Berlin, when I'm doing it part time, I'm doing kind of like I ended up doing the same thing now when I came to Berlin. Um, so now I'm kind of like I'm more, I'm busier trying to get the music out. So I'm kind of like not thinking about any lyrics or any music or anything. It's kind of like, okay, I have the music, and what can I do? But the thing is, so like the whole creative process like went really backwards, because like usually if you're a songwriter, you know like like someone that this was his dream, like to be the songwriter and to be the frontman. So you probably sit down and write songs, and you kind of already have few finished songs, and then you go to the producer, and then you play them the song, and he said, yeah, that's great, let's do like this, let's do like that. But you kind of like have the finished song before you go to the producer. And what I kind of what I kind of had, it was like, okay, I have nothing now, and I have to kind of like come up with something. And even though I didn't have like any experience like writing lyrics or writing songs at all, like I always like worked with other people on their songs. So so the process was to kind of somehow at some point I found myself like putting up a mic in my studio, and kind of like every day coming into the studio, and just like uh, open a session, open a track, and press the record button.
New session.
New session every day, and it was on the same session, but like a different track.
All right.
So like every day I came in the studio, and like I pressed the record button, and I don't know what's gonna come out, but I just know that I kind of have the intention of just playing. I don't know what's going on, but I kind of like I realize that I'm gonna use whatever I got, and the most important thing is uh, never criticize what I do at that moment.
Yeah, it's very important.
Yeah, because like I always the thing is like when I even tried writing anything, it was like I'm doing a kind of I don't know, a strumming on the guitar, and kind of trying a chord progression, and no, that chord progression is not good. Okay, I just like leave everything and go out, and that's it. So I kind of had to overcome, like kind of have a workaround that self criticism thing.
Hmm,
So
yeah.
yeah, so the only thing I could do then is like just like press the record button and and then like not even listening to it, nothing, just like 20, and that's also important, like only 20 to 30 minutes, and then like I stop and close the session and go out of the studio. That's it. Like
Forget about it.
yeah, like and I
Yeah.
know a lot of people, a lot of musicians have the kind of the process that they kind of get into the studio in the morning, they come up with an idea, and then like they try different ideas, and they they kind of like in a few hours they kind of have a kind of like a few ideas fused together, and then they start producing it, and kind of like by the end of the day they have something, they have a demo
Hmm.
of something that they can, okay, I have something finished that I can
Yeah.
give the producer.
You
And
can play to someone and get your idea across somehow
yeah,
if you did a good job.
yeah, so for me, like if I tried to do something like this, I could have met you like today and tell you I don't have anything. Like it couldn't have, it could have ended up like really with nothing. So what I had kind of, what I had to do is just play over and over every day and not listening to it and not trying to work on anything and not trying to kind of expand any idea.
You were producing a song and then you were just stopping or just jamming?
No, yeah,
Just the
total
jam.
jam. Yeah,
So
just a
it,
jam.
it was not like I make a track now and then I add something.
Yeah, no, it was like I think the only thing that could work for me is just like jamming and jamming and jamming and jamming until some idea or some spark comes out,
Okay.
and then, and even then I wouldn't do anything with it. Like the whole the whole process was to kind of every day record and forget about it. Because like if I recorded, if like let's say I record my jam, and soon after that I would hear it, and I think everything is shit. Like
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good thing to do to take a step back.
yeah, like not listening to
Yeah.
it for like
You become the listener and not the player
yeah,
after a while.
yeah, that's the thing. Like
Also, the emotion connection is less emotional when there is some time that passed by.
yeah, and it's also when you're kind of playing it afterwards, you kind of, you can listen and you hear right away there's a spark.
Yeah.
And 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 I'm talking about like really really like you can record, I think I recorded like hours and hours just to have like, I don't know, 10 second idea, like it's like the thing is that I kind of had to record every day and every day without thinking about it, without like asking myself, is it worth it? Is it gonna end up like something? I just like needed to do it.
Towards the end, or somehow when the process kept on going, did you notice that the more you keep on going with the process, the more percentage of good things that you manage to come up with while you're jamming?
Actually, I couldn't have known actually, because while I was playing, I tried to be uh, like as unaware as I can, like to what's coming out, because also I think I'm at a point where like people say like never study music because then like you have no creativity or whatever.
This
Like
is bullshit.
yeah, I know it's
It's
bullshit,
complete
but
bullshit.
the thing is, for me, what musical education brought is the criticism for everything. Like
This is a problem, yeah.
the thing is, so I could do a chord progression, and then I think, yeah, okay, like that note is have that function over the, and but then like where's the music? So I kind of had to really try to forget about everything and just let myself go and just put my hands on the guitar and let the hands just go wherever they want, even if it's to like places that are like not musical at all and have nothing to do like with
Yeah, yeah. This is a really important space to discover or uh, to go there and to see what's going on. When the music is weird, usually it's good tools that we can solve interesting problems in music.
yeah,
And this what makes music more interesting. You know, when we come to some places that we're not sure how we can go out of them, um, harmonic wise, and then to go out in a nice way. I
yeah.
think this is, for me at least, this is what really turns me on with music when I hear something like that. And there is some movement in the song that is a bit different than having just a structure.
Yeah, so the thing I just had to kind of what I told you before, that it was like backwards. So the backwards thing was to kind of like play and not think about what I'm doing, even though it's like even though it's like not it's not correct
It's just to feel it,
musically.
basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So and then like after the fact, I can hear it and I kind of like I know exactly which notes I played, what are the chord progression, all the kind of like theory music
Mhm.
thing is working. But then another interesting thing that happened was also like during working on it is that some things were kind of off, theoretically, and some, like a few rules that I knew from school that that is not correct to do. But then,
It
like,
depends who you ask, huh?
yeah, it depends who you ask, but then I just realized, okay, I know it's wrong, but it makes me feel something,
Mm.
and I know exactly what's wrong here, and I know exactly why I'm doing
What
it.
was wrong, for example, if you want to share?
Um,
And you can go geek completely with music theory. No worries.
yeah, like there was, I think, a place. There was quite a few places, but one of them, I think, like uh, going melodically, like two melodic lines that are sixths apart, moving in the same direction. One full step down, something like this,
All right.
like, so like in counterpoint, you will probably like, and also like in voice leading or whatever, like I'm not an expert in these areas because I didn't like really studied way deep in them, but like I like in the basics like of counterpoint and voice leading, you would want to kind of have kind of uh, opposite directions
Yeah.
going, and also in a lot of places you would use uh, I don't know how to call it in English, like um, common voices, like when one voice is moving and the other one is staying at the
Mm,
same time.
yeah.
Yeah, it's like it's really basic, like in basic harmony, you kind of like learn it.
This
And
is classical harmony.
yeah, even
Yeah.
yeah, actually, like this is kind of the basic. When you go to music courses, you kind of learn, how to kind of like build, like the C chord to F chord, and
Mm.
then like which notes stay at the same place, which notes change, and where. So like a lot of things that kind of like I did unintentionally, and only after I could kind of like analyze them and see, okay, like theoretically it was more correct to leave the voice on G instead of going to F. But I don't know like
Mm.
if like this podcast is about like music theory, but
It's about
anyway.
everything. We
Yeah,
have
yeah.
music theory nerds, probably.
Yeah. So So another thing that I realized that kind of I just had to kind of do it, and as long as it feels good to me, and not changing it as if it was like something that had to be correct in some sort of way.
It's very interesting about it. I think music theory is just there to describe what is music. And
Yeah, it's
music
kind of
theory,
labeling, like labeling the thing that we hear and giving names to them, kind of.
yeah, it's a way to transfer information from one person to another. If I want you to play certain notes, certain frequencies, then I can either play it to you, but if we will never going to meet, then I can just send you notes and you know what it's like. Or if I want to, I don't know, let the whole orchestra let them know exactly what I'm playing. And yeah, it's easier when we have notes. I think it's a great tool that we developed as humans.
Hmm.
And when I think about it, it's really genius, the whole system of notes.
Yeah,
I'm not
it's
so
sick.
fluent with that, but man, it's crazy. It's really crazy. And it's just there to describe. I think it's more cultural kind of thing. What kind of notes you choose to play, right? Where you have some notes that if you play it, then it sounds like jazz.
Yeah.
Then you have some notes if you play them, it sounds like blues.
Hmm.
And then you can describe it by using music theory.
Yeah, and it's thing like it's all kind of different languages going on.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, this is really nice.
But then
Different
like it's
languages.
yeah, so it's a kind of a matter of taste whether you choose, to do something or not. Like and what I thought in my project is kind of trying to I kind of course I had my influences and everything, like all other musicians, but I kind of tried not to kind of like fall in the in the obvious thing that it sounds like someone. The thing is, everyone can like hear my music and like it reminds them of someone, but I think in the kind of in the uniqueness, or I don't know how to kind of describe it. For me, when I was in the process of making the thing, I listened to a song, and then like I said, like this sounds like whatever band that is, and then like I asked, yeah, but would they write a song that sounds like it? And if the answer is yes, so it's probably too much alike. And I definitely had a lot of a lot of ideas that I listened back and said, yeah, this is too much alike, and this is like because this is kind of what my my conscious is drawn to, because this is the music I know.
Yeah.
So like it's really natural to go that way. But then like I heard it and I said, okay, that's good, but I have like I can do definitely nothing with it, so it goes to the trash.
It's so important to have this awareness if your song is original or if it sounds like you just copied another band or
Yeah.
something like that.
So like
Yeah.
then like the next step, after like recording all these sessions, was kind of like I had a friend coming in to my studio, and we kind of like I told him, okay, now we're gonna listen back to all this nonsense. So and I told him, like, I just need your ear to tell me, like, does it have any spark or it's just boring? Because like it was also hard for me, to because if I listen to it myself, I said like there's nothing there. Like so like we sat and listened to I don't know, I think it was like around 20 tracks or 30, about a month of recordings. um and then we kind of like he told me, okay, this is this is shit, this is shit, this is shit. Okay, there's something here, just keep it, keep this idea going. And after that, I had like, I don't know, I think about 20 or a little bit more of ideas, and it wasn't
What is the idea? It's chords, or is it this melody, a
it
solo?
it can be anything, because like I can let's see, I have here like one of the songs.
Yeah, we got some really nice installation in this
Yeah,
podcast.
yeah. It's kind of like, I thought it can be like very informative to kind of, I don't know, show a little bit of the process.
Yeah, we go deep.
Yeah, because
We go deep. There is the tracks that Amit prepared basically in their own Pro Tools sessions. So we can solo stuff, we can isolate, we can really see how is the creative process of Amit and how we built everything.
yes,
First time.
yeah. Okay, so first of all, this is the kind of the process of the song that's gonna be released in a little bit more than a month, like May 19th.
What kind of music is that for those who don't know?
We have. The thing is, like, we just started talking about music, and without like even, I don't need introductions. Like, I think like this is the most embarrassing thing for me, is the introductions of like who you played with and what are the names that are there. It's like, I was always embarrassed by the thing, like introduction, like
Mm.
what I did, what I learned. But like I try to kind of like let the music speak for itself. But
Yeah, you can also introduce the music in an
yeah, yeah,
exciting way.
yeah. So the exciting way, like
How would you introduce it in
yeah.
an
So the
exciting way?
music, first of all, is it's alternative. Okay, it's kind of like, it's rock, but it's not classic rock. It's um it's heavy, but it's like, it's not heavy as metal.
It's low. Also, the tuning
Yeah, the
is
tuning
very
is low.
low.
The one thing that's like for sure, that it's like very, very dark. Like,
Yes.
and the thing is, like, also it just first of all, like, all my creativity well was probably filled with a lot of very, very dark emotions when I kind of started, working on it. But the most interesting thing about like the dark tuning was that I tried to write things and ideas, and I kind of I had a classical guitar, like really beat up classical guitar, that I used to go to the beach with my friends, and like in
Tuned to be.
yeah, the thing is,
Really,
like,
it you did down to be? Wow.
yeah, it was C or B, like, but the thing is, like, in the beginning it was amazing, and then like when I kind of like after a lot of years, the action of it, like
Oh, the
the height
guitar.
of the
Okay.
strings, became like so impossible
This is
to
what you told
play with.
me. Now I get it. Okay.
Yeah, so
It was a cheap classical guitar.
yeah, very cheap.
Yeah.
um but actually, like, I did like most of my early, exploration of harmony along with it, because I started with bass. So like I had to kind of like explore harmony, and this is like the instrument I had, like the classical guitar, and like it helped me a lot with kind of like becoming familiar with a lot of harmonic things. So uh, that, like, at the point that I started working on it, I just had that guitar, and I realized that it's impossible to play. So what am I gonna do? I just like tuned it down, like, to, I think, to C, or I think at that point it was C. And then I just started playing like this, and everything. Okay,
C standard, yeah, not drop C.
yeah, C standard, of course,
It's
because like the whole
two
the whole
whole
guitar.
steps down the normal standard. It's like
Yeah,
halfway to bass, basically.
yeah. So I'll let you hear one how like a typical session would start. Okay, it's like, now I'm kind of like letting you hear kind of like the worst things that I can, I never thought it's like I want to, to share, like the most vulnerable places, but why not? Let's do it. So a typical session would start like this. Okay, so you hear like just noodling.
Sounds
Okay.
great. This classical guitar. It
Yeah,
sounds nice with the low
yeah, it
B or
had a
C.
like
What is
it
it?
had a nice sound in the beginning. So like you can hear like all kinds of ideas and noodling, and nothing is like really like even if we hear like more further inside. Okay. So the thing is like I had like a mic up, but the thing is that I didn't kind of constrain myself to anything. I would just like I start to sing all of a sudden, and I don't know what I'm gonna sing, and I at that point I didn't even like know how to kind of express my real voice. I just like did it. So it kind of like it can sound like this. Okay, all kinds of just like at that point, I'm kind of like, as I told you before, I'm, I don't know if I'm how trying I am, but it's kind of like I'm trying to be as unaware as I can about to what comes out.
Yeah, it sounds like you're searching for notes and vowels.
Yeah, yeah, definitely notes and sound and vowels and like
You just try to see what there is and how it feels,
yeah, it's just like checking out things.
how it interacts with the chords.
Yeah, but a lot of times, like I don't know really what I'm doing, but you can hear that there's a certain taste to the things, like something that naturally I would go to, even though that I'm kind of not aware that I'm going there. But you see, like totally different. See, like I can stop in the middle because I feel okay. I really fucked it up. So okay, so and then like we're kind of like I don't know, quite a bit inside this like session, and then I start something that sounds like this. I don't know. It sounds nice to me. I don't know, like so I just like keep doing it. Spoiler, that's not the song. Like it's just an idea that like I just like listening, after the fact, I just like realized this was kind of leading to the idea that then became the song. So, but you see, I would kind of like go with a chord progression and then just start singing on it right away without like knowing what I'm doing at all. So and then like an expansion. I don't really know what I'm doing, but I'm just like going all the way because I I'm at that point I'm never thinking about like is that gonna be a song or not, because I'm trying not to care. So okay, that's almost okay. What happened now is kind of like I just started with something and then I had a like an off chord that changed anything, and then I kind of like I'm analyzing it after the fact, of course. Like I didn't know what's going to happen like at that point, but I actually kind of like had a chord change and then kind of came out with a chord progression that started to sound for me like I don't know. Okay, like that's like a really simple chord progression, and of course, like the strumming, like nothing really like unique about it. But I stopped and started kind of like trying to expand on it, and then okay, and then okay, kind of like trying to add vocals to it, and then like I have a melody. So you see, like I'm kind of like playing at the same time. Don't know what I'm doing, but I'm trying, like to go places.
Investigating.
Yeah, investigating, and then like I'm expanding. You hear the nasal voice. So somehow, kind of like then another chord comes in, and then like a little bit more, and then I'm kind of searching. Okay, and then like it's getting better. Just trying a lot of things, and then I have, there's like just a few moments that helped me realize that maybe there's something in there, because kind of like I felt something in the moment, and even now when I hear it, like I don't know why it excited me so much, but it's kind of like like I'm kind of like I'm kind.
You were happy with the take.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing, but like at that moment, I don't know even like why was I so happy? Like I hear it back, and it's like two chords, man. Why are you like so happy with yourself?
Man.
But the thing is, like the the person that is talking right now and saying what I just said right now, I didn't let him in that session. You know what
The
I mean?
analytic person was out. You let
Yeah,
the inner child in,
yeah.
and you let it express it what he
So,
wanted to
so
express.
yeah, so I think like this is the most important thing that kind of like I could be I could get excited about things that I would never, get excited if I'm in my musician, like serious musician hat. So and then like I have and a few seconds later I have an kind of a full line idea. So again, like why was I happy? Because like I had another chord that kind of like closed. Okay, now I have a line. Okay, I think this is like what I felt back then. But
You found what you were looking for.
yeah, it kind of like and after that, after I had that, I kind of like kept just like messing up. Okay, and then like I just things going back to just like noodling, and then in the end like this is kind of like we're at the end of the session where I kind of like, okay, fuck it.
I know those moments.
So like no, like no serious guitar player would ever like would ever be comfortable doing something like this, I think.
I think the most serious ones are very comfortable doing something like that.
But not in that way, because like this one you hear that it's someone that like it's not really playing. It's just like like random hitting the strings.
It's expression of the energy that you wanted to express at this moment.
Yeah, probably, but the thing is, um if I would, I know about, I know that about myself, that if I did have the skill to kind of like really do a like amazing shred, like a really like musical, I don't know, shred right now, I would have done that shred. I wouldn't go with like
You had something different in your head than what you actually
no,
performed, or
that's the thing. I didn't have anything in my head at that point. I just like had like nothing. I just like wanted to, relief.
yeah.
Just like do, yeah, shit, yeah, and that, let's close it. That's it for today. So a lot of like all of the songs except one actually like became these songs.
And how did it develop afterwards?
Okay.
The next development
Oh,
of these lines?
that's a good question.
I'm curious, man. You got me now.
Yeah. Okay. Um, so at that point, like I already had a lot of ideas flying in my head, even though I didn't really like. I didn't really listen to it until, I don't know, a month or two after. But then like a lot of ideas came out. A lot of things would start like kind of bugging me at night when I was about to sleep, and a lot of
Melody is haunting you.
yeah, and a lot of times you kind of just like, I'm too tired, I'm going to sleep. I'll remember it in the morning.
You will
and
never remember it.
and yeah, sometimes I would kind of like just write notes and write rhythms, and when I wake up in the morning, I see it and like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, this is not what what I had in mind yesterday. So if there were only like really few times that I would say, okay, I have to record this idea. I would come out of bed, go into the studio was on in the other room. Like it was in my house. It's not like
You don't need to go outside.
yeah, it's not driving to the studio.
I'm going to the studio.
yeah. So like I'm going out of bed and like go 5 steps from the bed to the studio, and just like record that idea. So and here you can listen to the verse idea of that song. That, and even like you notice after, like that idea hasn't even like didn't even sound like the end result. So it was just the idea that sparked the song, okay, the chord progression or whatever. So and then like I came out of bed and I just recorded this. You remember that idea from before? So it's kind of like you can hear that I'm kind of like, it's at night and I don't want to wake anyone up, and it's like, but then like you see, I like from all the ideas flying in my head, I have kind of chord progression and a little bit of melody, and I can kind of play them one after the other, and I still like have no clue and no idea what I'm gonna do with it. I just know that I'm kind of like in the process of trying, to get ideas out of myself. So, and then at one point, I kind of sat in the studio again, and then like thought about what I'm what I'm gonna do with it, how I'm gonna produce it, and like I start to have like sparks of like what I'm gonna do.
What kind of instrumentations?
Yeah, and not even, yeah. So like the beginning thing, like I thought like the verse, that da-do, 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 da, it sounded to me like like a piano, more like. So I just like took a piano plugin and I just sound like this. I wouldn't say I find and keep jamming. Okay, and that's going on for a little bit, and then the chorus. Okay, and that's the idea. Okay, and so I kind of like I had that. I have a verse and I have a chorus and some kind of melody, like almost zero lyrics, except from the beginning. Like
Yeah, you had
hell
something
no,
there.
I wouldn't say I'm fine. That's the thing. Like I listened to it and it kind of like it just came out, and then I said, okay, I have zero clue what the lyrics are gonna be about in this song, but I just felt that this line just sounds good to me, and it kind of like also like described where I was at that point. Like hell no, I wouldn't say I'm fine. All right, that's it. So um so I had that with few other songs, few songs that had kind of like a more defined version of what they are, and a few songs that stayed like the idea you heard in the beginning. And also like you can hear from the inception of the idea, it already doesn't sound like itself.
Like the first idea, the
Yeah,
initial spark.
yeah, because like the first idea was like a dum da dum da dum. It was like uh, mm, mm, mm. was something like this. What?
The vibe is different, but the chords are there,
Yeah,
and the
only the
melody
chord
is there.
progression. Yeah, but then like the strumming and everything, it sounds like like we're sitting around the campfire, and so like I kind of tried, and I think also what kind of like um I wanted to kind of like have it, rock and roll and dark and heavy, and I kind of like had ideas like uh, w- uh like you hear it, like, so I was like I thought it's gonna be like heavy guitars, like
When you
toms.
first played it,
When,
or when it started to progress.
no, when I had that idea at that point, like
Okay,
because I thought like, yeah, now I'm gonna take it to a band and we're going to play it and whatever, okay. But then the whole band thing didn't happen. Like and so the band, like I told you before, like I thought that I'm only worthy of doing things if it's with other people, with a band. So like I had that idea, and I was thinking to myself, like, if there's no band, there's like why should I bother, like, so it can stay on the hard drive until I die, and I never do anything with
songs graveyard.
it. Yeah. um so and also at that point I had a project. At that point I already had a project with another singer, that it's kind of like it drew me out of this thing, because I said, yeah, like now I'm concentrating on that other artist songs, and I rely on that artist, and we're gonna, like we're gonna make an album together and whatever. So I
Full
kind of like,
focus.
yeah,
Yeah.
so I don't need to have that song, at all. um so then that project kind of like ended at some point, and I realized, okay, and like it's fast forward, like I think 3 years later,
3 years
since the
since.
inception of the ideas. 3 years I had a hard drive
All
full
right.
of ideas that I did.
Since this guitar playing that we heard.
Yeah.
And how long difference, like time difference from the moment that you start to incept the idea until what you played me with the piano?
I think it was about 2 or 3 months,
All right.
because I kind of like I tried, because when I had that creative process going, I was, pumped up, and yeah, I'm going to develop the thing, and then I'm going to, do something with it. So I was kind of like really pumped up to kind of like record the ideas.
And then it just stopped in this state. What you played me the last one, the piano.
Yeah, it stopped then for 3 years,
Mm.
and I didn't do anything with it. Like it just like I thought it's not worth it, and also not only that like I just felt that these ideas worth nothing. Like it's just like not good because at that point already my critical self just heard it and said, okay, that's no one will never connect to it, and still that might be true even today.
Might
Okay,
be.
yeah,
We
the
never
thing is
know.
like it's
But when you heard it, what about the song itself that you thought it's not good enough or it's not worthy to be heard by people?
it's because that I made it.
Mm,
That's like that's the main thing,
I see.
because like we won't get into into years of inner self-talk and therapy and stuff like that's like a full podcast by itself. But like I like the main reason why I felt that this is not good is because okay, I can like I came back to my old self that thinks that like if I'm doing something on my own, it will never be good enough as if I'm doing something with other people. So
It's so interesting how we get stuck in our thoughts sometimes.
yeah,
This is so
so
interesting because I listen to it now and for me it sounds amazing.
already
Already, yeah, I got the melody already in the
yeah.
guitar and I thought, oh, there is something there. And when you refined it more and more, and now you add the piano and you added also the harmonies,
Hmm.
and I thought, ah, there is something in here, and also the way it starts to sit in its own place.
Yeah, it like it's kind of like it's interesting that when it kind of coming out of thin air, and then like I kind of, and you hear like the piano and the ideas, and it's all like a result of like me like grinding it in my head until
Yeah,
it gets okay, I can do like this and I can do like that, and then like kind of in the more serious musician way, I'm kind of like thinking about the chord progression more and thinking about the melody and how it's
yeah.
gonna be.
It's important to have those moments as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I think
If for example I let my inner child do
yeah,
all the stuff, it will sound horrible. Sometimes the responsible adult needs to
yeah,
step in.
yeah, that's the thing. But I think it's sometimes we never let them work together. You know
Hmm?
what I mean? Like sometimes, like you said, like you
Why
let the inner
not?
child do whatever it wants, and then like it's not aware that something is off right there. And sometimes you only let the serious part of you like do the things, and everything is kind of like so well planned and so in its place that it kind of like it lacks the edges and the weirdness and the thing that like makes it
Mm.
you.
And do you sometimes let your inner child challenge your professional musician?
Oh,
Or vice versa? I do
yeah,
it a
I
lot.
think
I
it's
do it
it's
a
a hard
lot.
question because I think one thing is that like my more serious and knowledgeable like quote unquote musician uh, sometimes it helps me realize the ideas that the inner child has, but a lot of times it's just like standing in the way. A lot of times it's just like taking a good idea and ruining it because I'm too afraid. Like my serious side is afraid that I'm doing something that is not correct, and
Mm.
that's actually like true, very true. Also in my production process and in my mixing process, most of all, like I can mix something like that. It has like I feel that it has the edges and everything kind of like falling in place in a very creative way. But then tomorrow I will come and they say, ah, the bass is the bass has like too much of 150, and then I think like I need to lower the compression on the guitar by
Yeah, I know
but then
this.
I'm kind of like ruining it, and I know it's a thing that I have like there's nothing I can do. I always do it, and I tried in this project to kind of run away from it, but in the end, like as I told you, like when I kind of like listen to it right now, I already too much in my criticizing mode. So I'm kind of like, for me it's all flat and lifeless, and but you know it's only me, like, but this is what I'm trying, and also this process of kind of dissecting and going back kind of helps me get that spark again.
Yeah.
Okay, like I listen to myself getting really happy with what I have, and then I said, okay, so maybe there is something to it that now, because I kind of heard it 20 trillion times, I don't feel it anymore.
Yeah, there is also this for sure when you listen to the same song again and again and again, and after a while it just stop exciting.
Yeah, I just remember
Yeah.
like even listening back to production ideas and for the first time, and wow, that's amazing. And like now it's okay.
It's like, oh, now this comes, and now this here, and
Yeah,
now this,
okay.
and now
I'm
that, and some reverb, and now it's like that, and a bit more compression. I know all the tricks.
yeah.
But fresh ears, when they hear all those details, I think if it's been done in good taste, of course, and
Hmm.
style, then they're just blown away by that. It's like drugs. Music is like drugs. Music is drugs. It's not
Yeah,
like
you kind
drugs.
of like have to go away out of it in order to feel it the same way again. I
Yes,
think I think like this is
yes and
what.
no. How can I make this? Yeah, but it's like drugs. Come on, the first joint that you ever smoked, or I mean, it can be different, of course, from every experience. But usually, the more you do something, it doesn't have to be drugs. But I think with everything, the more you do something, the more you get used to it, and then you need to find actively the spark that started initially, first thing that you got attracted to this thing.
Hmm.
And I think with our own stuff, it's like that, and then we can lose a little bit of it because we're not sensitive enough as we used to be.
Yeah, like and also this thing is when you kind of become more experienced musician. So like a lot of things kind of they excite you much less. I'll go further with it because you remember like the first time you heard um, a Strat going through I don't know, a Marshall,
Yeah,
an amp
yeah,
in the
man.
room at that same moment, like
Yeah,
I remember, and I remember when I heard a guitar through an amp in the room, I felt that, what the hell is this? I can't describe the feeling, how it felt to me at that same moment, you know?
it was so mind blowing
Yeah, it's like,
how it can be
or
so powerful.
yeah, or even like the first time that I heard bass guitar by itself, like, whoa, this these strings, they're so low.
They're
Yeah, like,
so heavy and thick.
yeah, like, and
Yes.
so like these experiences are long gone, like because that's it. Like I heard it trillion times. Like I know
Yeah.
how a guitar sounds through an amp. Like,
There is this concept. It's called beginner's mind. Do you know this concept?
no, I think didn't hear about it.
Um, I might be very wrong about it,
Mm-hmm.
but it might be kind of a Buddhism or Zen kind of approach. And basically, the approach is everything that you do, just go there with a beginner's mind, like you never did it before.
Yeah, it's really. I think it's really hard, but there are. I think you just have to find like the workarounds.
If you
Like
just have the
how?
intention and you approach things like that,
Yeah,
I think with time it becomes easier to imagine
yeah,
if it was for the first time. But just approaching things for the first time, sometimes we think we know something because we did it for a long time, or we did multiple times something, or we just grinded the shit out of it.
yeah. So like going back to the production process,
Mm.
let's say of this song that we kind of like started. Um, it's another thing that I kind of it was like totally backwards from everything I've done before, like any production or any writing process or anything. And it's all in the sense of uh, I just had nothing to do musically. I was like, still playing in parties and weddings and whatever, and with other like known artists, but it wasn't my music. So there came a point where I just needed to have something of my own going on, regardless of what I'm doing or making money or whatever.
For the heart.
Yeah. So then I just, uh, but also um, when I came to the production process, I realized that I really don't know. Like, and this is tied to the beginner's mind that you talked about right now. It's I just realized, um, like for me, when I produced things, like throughout the years, I was always in the concept that a producer got to have a vision. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you got to have in your mind how it's gonna end up, and how it's gonna sound in the end, and then it's gonna drive your ideas about the arrangement and the instrumentation and everything.
That's a very romantic way to think about production, huh?
Yeah, but the thing is, I was so tied up in this thing. Like with the years, a little
With
bit
the
less.
concept that you need to know already.
It's not that you kind of have. You have to have a vision.
Yeah.
You have to see it in your own mind how it sounds in the end. And and in this case, I really did not know anything. I didn't even have like I told you, I thought it's gonna be guitars and toms in that song. Like it's gonna start with like I don't know, like a guitar melody and something like really like heavy toms and distortion and whatever. And I didn't really know what's gonna be in the end. But when I started it, I just threw away the idea of the like toms and guitars because I felt that okay, like I don't have a band right now, so this is the time for me to kind of like go in a little bit and experiment with things. So so what I did in the beginning, I just felt that okay, I have no band, and also like I always wanted, like my dream was for my music to be played live, like recorded. I always loved to record live with the band in the room, and like other bands that I played with, and even like a band that I play in Berlin with right now. Like we kind of like go in the room and we play. So I realized that now, like this is my dream, but it's not gonna happen. Like I have no band, I have no one, and now like I'm all by myself, and if I'm not going to trust the process that I do it by myself, it's never gonna happen. So I realized that whatever I do, it should be like click programmed, like very very kind of like uh, and it's really different from what I like to do before. Like I used to play live, and now I need to do everything like in order with click, and like
Why did you thought like that? That was just the thought that you had in your head, or this
what
is the idea that you thought this song is gonna be on grid?
because I realized that it's impossible for me, at least, to kind of like layer instruments by myself, and let's say I want to get a drummer in that song. So what do I do? Like,
Oh, I see. Yeah.
okay, and I know there are a lot of music. There's a lot of music that I really really love that has been done in a way like without any grid, just like I don't know, piano or whatever, and then the drummer kind of like worked hard and nailed all the tempo changes. But I felt that I need to kind of like, I don't know, like not get my expectations so high at that point. So I just made a guide and a vocal. Still, it had no lyrics, but it did have melody. Let's see. You hear the birds in the background. Hell no, I wouldn't say I'm fine. No, ain't none. Anything that's mine, I want it far away. Until my head gets numb, a little all and it blood gets numb. And then I found it all went down. Model for the bay, nothing someone's pain. I never know the sun and out. I know sudden pain, I know the someone pain. You see, like all the syllables and vowels are kind of like a little bit more expanded.
Yeah, there is more structure in the lyrics and
Yeah, a little bit like some
the singing line is
some
more.
word. Yeah, some words are kind of like more like real words,
Yeah, exactly.
even though like they didn't end up being on the song at all. But
I
so
think this is something that a lot of artists don't get or don't seem to be complete with the idea. They might record a song and the song might change,
yeah,
or the song might not be used and it will not be a good song and you
Yeah.
will need to throw it. And it's okay.
yeah. So what I did, kind of, to tell you the truth, I just felt at that point like if I'm going to kind of like work on the lyrics before I do any of the production, I'm never gonna get to the production, stage.
Yeah.
So I just felt that this is like the base that I'm gonna work with, and all the rest will. I really had to kind of trust that the rest will fall into place with
Yes.
time. So so about the like the the intro, that I wanted it to be big, but I didn't know like I realized that it cannot be like rock drums and like the usual things, that because I didn't think it's like it's gonna be the usual. And I also, like I told you, like I wanted to experiment with different things. So another thing in the production process that I realized that it's like totally different than what I would always do is like you write this song and then you go to the producer, and then like you kind of work on it. You have like the pre-production, you kind of have a finished song before you go to the studio, and then you go to the studio, and you kind of like if you don't record the full band in the beginning, so then you probably start with the drums. You get a drummer in, you'll get a good drum take, and then you get a bass player in, and you get a good bass take, and whatever, like do whatever editing you need to do, and then like you bring the guitar player in, like
Yeah.
everything kind of has to be in a certain order.
Yeah, there is the structure. Yeah.
There is a structure, and still a lot of amazing music has been done not in that way.
Yeah, in more than we think, even. It's
Yeah.
not that like 80% was done like that,
Yeah,
and the
yeah.
rest somehow. I think it's more like 40% were done in the right way,
Yeah,
and
kind
the
of.
rest just somehow find its ways.
Yeah, but the common thing, like I told you, like I there were two things that I thought that production should be like. The first one is you got to have a vision. You have to know how it's gonna sound or before you even go in the studio. And the second thing is that you have to kind of like do it in order: first drums, then bass, then
Yeah.
guitar. And I think a good thing about like today, when most of us have a studio, some kind of studio at home, like at that point I was so lucky to have a studio on the roof of my apartment.
This is nice.
Yeah, it was an amazing thing, and like I was so lucky to have it. Like
Wow.
and then like it like we had COVID just started back then, because like I did all the guides for the songs, and when it came time to kind of produce, and I said to myself, no, I don't have any time to produce anything, because like I have a show there, and I have a show there, and like yeah, next week I'm performing, I don't know, like 4 shows. So when am I gonna have time to produce it? And then like
The universe told you,
yeah,
here is time.
yeah.
Use it.
So and the most amazing thing, that I had like my own studio on the roof with like amazing vibe, like it was kind of an urban place with nice buildings, so I could kind of like go in the studio and and just experiment and do whatever, because I'm not paying for the studio. I'm not paying for an engineer. I'm not paying for a producer. I'm not paying for any musician. Like I'm on my own now.
Yeah. This is nice.
Yeah, and then like when you have that, the like another thing that can happen is like you have too much time, you have the skills of doing everything, but then you kind of like you can kind of experiment, for years, and
Yeah.
come up with nothing. So
This is true.
and another thing that I realized, my wife was also at home, and she was like, it was COVID, and we were all like, yeah, we have no energy and anything. And she told me, you cannot go in the studio from the morning till night, because I'm here like watching Netflix and feeling like shit, and I have nothing else to do. So at least spend a little time with me, and that's acceptable. It's your partner. You have to. So and then like I realized, yeah, it's very wrong for me. Like I just didn't realize, because sometimes we musicians kind of like so get caught up in what we do, that we kind of like the world doesn't exist. You have no partner, you have no family, you have no work, you have nothing. You kind of like, okay, now I'm in the studio and this is what I do, and fuck everyone.
It's also a good approach, I think. Sometimes
Yeah,
it really
sometimes.
depends on your goal in the end, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah, it depends on your goals, but I think like that's the thing that helped me the most. The thing that I had like limited time, and that's a concept like I'm not the one who invented that concept. But what I would do is just like I had the studio like 24 hours a day if I wanted. But what I would do is just like go after I don't know, after lunch I'd go to the studio for 2 hours and do what I could do in that 2 hours, and again like close the
There's a pigeon really close to the window.
yeah,
Look at it.
and it's the mom, it's not the son of the
It's the
pigeon.
mom of the pigeon. She wants to be on the podcast too.
Yeah. Uh,
She's gone.
yeah. So so actually I just found out that going for 2 hours and whatever I can do in that 2 hours and then close the session and going back home was so productive for me. All of a sudden, it's like in the beginning where I would kind of like press record for 20 minutes and then whatever there is on the recording, I just like stop it and go continue with my day. So it's like it's the same. It was like so it made me like kind of like really concentrate on what's important.
Yeah, I think one of the ways to achieve good creativity is to limit ourselves. It's a really good tool to be creative.
Mhm.
When we have limitations, then we think how we can be more creative so we can overcome those limitations. When everything is free and open, I think for me at least, this is creativity killer because I can do anything. And there are so many choices that I don't choose anything in the end.
Yeah, and also when I have a long time, I kind of like I have an idea, and then I kind of work on it and try to to kind of like experiment on it from a lot of different angles, and then like after a few hours, I think, this is shit. Why am I doing it? So and then like I ditch it, and at that point where I just like close the session and move on, I would come back the next day and say, "Whoa, did I do that yesterday?"
It's
Yeah,
a great
like
feeling to have, huh?
yeah, wow, it sounds great.
But the day before, you felt like this is shit. This is not a good song.
I didn't know. The thing is, like I didn't allow myself too long time in order to to make the decision. Like I said, I don't know if it's good. I just have to go. That's
Yeah.
it. So
Interesting.
the thing, like I didn't really know how to go about it, but I I just said to myself that whatever idea comes to mind, I'm going to kind of like document and do it. Like I'm just going to record it and then like see what's gonna happen. So the first thing that I had, if I had a kind of an idea that of a kind of an arpeggiating thing that sounds like something like this. I think we can hear it. Okay, it doesn't sit well with the guitar, of course, but on its own, on its own. Has it has some kind of a sad, sad
There is
voice.
some high frequency there that is a bit off.
Yeah,
It
something.
gives this haunted feeling to the
Yeah,
melody.
it's also like
This is just pure guitar?
it's not a guitar at all.
No, what is it? There is some
Let's see.
high frequency there, some note. Can you play it again?
Yeah.
What is
Yeah,
this
so I
note?
think let's see if the computer can handle, but I'm going to unfreeze it.
Global warning.
Woo! Let's see. Okay, we have it. So okay, if we get into, it's not a tutorial, but the main sound was this. Ah, okay, it sounds pretty much like I think it's, I don't know what the sample is from, but it was kind of I don't know. I just felt it should, I just like went through all the samples. A few months before I started, I kind of like bought a big pack of kind of like vintage samples, and I realized, okay, I have to kind of search for everything. Like I had a sound in my mind, like, and then like how am I gonna find it? So like the original sound was something like this. It has
Yeah, they add a
yeah.
lot.
Okay, so and
And
then
even though it's not correct because they're not harmonizing so
yeah,
perfectly with the melody, but just because they're a bit dissonant, it gives this rusty,
yeah,
dirty, weird feeling to
yeah,
it.
and also it's kind of have a sad voice leading, like and then kind of like like EQ'd it like very, so it cuts in the mix. Okay, so and then like after kind of like expanding it with a Haas delay. Yeah, it's not really Haas. It's like more than this. Like I don't know. It's about like I think 250 millisecond delay. So it's kind of like expanding the stereo, but then like the distortion. This is like what it like it makes it, like then all the harmonies, like the off harmonies that you hear, are way more exaggerated with the distortion.
Yeah, it somehow also blends those two signals really nicely together.
Yeah, it's kind of and also like with the delay, you don't you're not really sure already like what's the rhythm unless you have like a
Yeah.
foundation. So I also like needed to have a kind of a rhythm. So so I don't know what we have here. I had. I think I also have like the original drums, but the original drums were for a guide for the drummer that played after this. So
This is a guide or this is the actual drums?
it started as a guide, but then like and it also had like more elements in it.
Yeah.
But then like what stayed, I think it cannot work without the drums right now. So it.
This is a real drummer.
Yeah. What I did actually, like I had like this sound and I sent him as a guide, but then like what he played was this. And I felt that and by the time that he played it, I felt that I already fell in love with that kind of, I don't know, hip hoppy feeling of the program drums, and then I kind of like added it, feel like more like like more metallic, and all these hi-hats like in the background, like the thing like was added. So so I just needed to have like these as a background to the drummer. But then like when I kind of it was all on the grid, as you know, but in order to kind of glue it to the drummer, I didn't fix the drummer to the grid, but I glued the grid to the drummer.
Yeah.
So then it sounds like more like a human.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So like the whole thought process was I just like felt that I like adding a lot of harmony. Okay, so like you kind of have the normal structure with harmony and rhythm and what's going on. So and then like I also like realized that I need to have a synth bass. So basically, like this was the the structure, but then like also I wanted it heavy, and now it feels like just like a beat, So you kind of adding the bass and. Okay, so like, and now like the only thing that was missing for me here was actual guitars, because what I played here, like the guitar that you hear right now is actually bass. So like I didn't have guitar back then. So I kind of like had to do all the guitars with my bass, and kind of like I found really weird ways of trying to make it.
Limitations make you be more creative.
Yeah. So that's the thing. So so like the last thing that was added here is the actual guitars of also a friend of mine that played the guitars, and I told him kind of like, okay, also you can experiment and please go all the way with kind of like, don't think what's correct, but feel, like make it like the last nail in the weirdness of this thing. I don't know, maybe it doesn't sound weird. I don't know, like for me, it sounded weird in the beginning. So kind of you see
Infinite spring.
yeah, like it
Wow, what did you use it for?
for the guitar. If you hear like the left guitar that is kind of like doing that tremolo thing, so you and then it lingers.
Trying to ride the wave, falling for someone's gate. I know I wanna end this all. Gotta hit and run.
So it just in this moment comes, yeah.
Yeah, only then, like so because it felt like it's cutting, you know, like a lot of things come out of a necessity. Like you feel like, okay, he stopped playing and something is missing, but I need to something to lead from the chorus to the verse. So, like, if we can, you know, just like recap the whole thing of on that specific song from the inception of the idea, that was okay. It was like something like this. Okay, and then like it became something like this. And you see like the piano here is like is doing like single strokes just because I didn't know what's gonna be there. So and then like and then the chorus became this.
Well, it ain't all worked out. Trying to fight a wave like someone who's out of place.
And you can actually, there is a piano here. Okay, so but now the piano is only like one note that is kind of supporting the whole chord change.
Damn, man, thank you for this beautiful like go through how to create a song 101.
I don't know, like it's not how to create. That's the thing, like
one of the ways.
Yeah, I'm saying like this cannot be a real like tutorial, because it's how it worked for me, you know? Because I really know it couldn't have worked for me in any other way. I needed to kind of like I need to trick myself constantly in order to get to the next step every time.
Yeah, man.
You know, I had to trick my own you know, like inner speech, you know, with myself, in order to, like, when I did it, I didn't think about like what I'm gonna do with it. I just said like, okay, it might be shit, but I just like need to do it, even if it's not good, you know.
Yeah, I know this feeling. It's something that is inside of you that tells you there is something there that I would like to find. What is it? I would like to bring it back to this reality and to share other people with that.
Yeah, and also like fundamentally, I just had to do something in order to feel that I'm doing something. You know, like it's like for a very long time while working on this thing, this whole project, and this is like only one song out of the project, but it was really like I feel like shit, but this is like a thing that I can, you know, this is something that I could, you know, wake up for.
Yeah, exactly.
At that moment in life, you know.
Yeah, this is beautiful.
Thank you. You want to take a break? Small.
Yeah, we can
maybe
take a small
like
break.
A bathroom, toilet break. Small.
Yeah, it was a long session, so we take a break.
Yeah, like.
We are back and we are fresh.
Pretty fresh.
And we have a surprise.
What's the surprise?
There is some guitar quicking sound. Yes, we have a guitar plugged into a PC that is plugged into the interface, that is plugged into my interface, that is plugged into another PC, and this is what you hear. This is technology in its best.
Yeah.
It sounds really good for a signal that has been in such a
Transferred
long
through
chain.
through like digital to analog for like
Yes.
4 times. But then like
And also the guitar is Harley Benton. If anyone knows or ever heard this name, this is the cheapest that you can buy. But in a miracle way, they make really good instruments.
yeah, the only thing that is like you need to tune it every 2 bars. No, but anyway, like it's kind of I think it will stay in tune. But anyway, like this is what I have. So
It's great for the money. Seriously.
Yeah.
Seriously, it's really great for the money.
It's amazing for the money.
If you buy the more premium quality of this company, you pay so little and you get a lot of value.
Yeah. So the next song I
Harley
wanted
Benton.
to play,
Harley Benton.
Harley Benton.
Buy now. Harley
Yeah,
Benton.
like they need to pay us a lot of money. All right, so I thought I'm gonna play now, play live. So I at least try to play live. The thing is, like now I have like this project, and it's kind of done, and I started releasing it, and like song by song.
What is called the album?
Now I just realized I don't have a name for the album.
Bam! There is an album, but it's nameless.
Yeah, because I the thing is, I kind of started to release song by song, and I just like realized I realized I didn't have to kind of know what's the name of the album right now. Like a lot of things in this production, like I told you, a lot of things kind of came to be because I just let them come. Like a lot of the ideas, like production ideas, I didn't know like the song that we heard before. I didn't know it's gonna sound like this until it did sound like this. That's the thing. So, and another thing, like you I think you could notice that in the finished version there are also lyrics that weren't there in the beginning.
Yeah.
It's kind of like we didn't hear the whole song. You can probably hear it by now. I don't know, if you want you can hear the whole song, and if not, May 19th it's gonna
May
be there
19th on Spotify.
on Spotify, Apple Music,
Hollowfame.
Hollowfame.
And the song, what is it called?
The song is called "Fight a Wave."
Fight a Wave. What we heard the production.
Yeah.
progress.
This is the name of the song. So, like, actually, like, the music production process took around 4 months. Thing like it's not a lot compared to like 2 hours a day that I spent on it.
On the song, or is it the whole album?
The whole album. The music.
4 months.
Yeah. The production for the whole album, like all the instruments, like drums, guitars. I had an amazing friend of mine playing drums, Tamir Barzilai. He's from LA, and he recorded everything in his studio. And another amazing friend of mine, Oded Ginsberg, that we were roommates in New York, and and he played the lead guitars, like all the guitars that I couldn't play myself, and actually like I needed another hands of a guitar player, and not me, like that is like this is like what I can whatever. So I needed like a more creative, more more free creativity on the guitar section. So and basically like these are the only musicians that played on that album except me. And it was like an interesting process as well, because one is in New York, one is in LA, I'm in Tel Aviv, and I'm kind of like going back and forth with them and like sending them demos, sending them ideas, and it kind of like it in the end, like a lot of the songs sound like really as if we were in the room playing together. And that's also because we had we had a band together 15 years ago.
You already know each other.
Yeah, so it was like really a natural process between us. Like we kind of we knew.
You know each other, you know what to get and the vibes.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, this is nice.
So like the whole process of recording and kind of producing the music was about 4 months. But then I was left with music and melodies, and the melodies had almost zero lyrics, because like all the melodies I just like I was just blabbing, so I have something to to produce on.
The whole song was ready except the vocals, basically.
Yeah.
All right.
And it's not only that, it's not only the lyrics weren't there. The thing is, like, if you can hear in the beginning, it like the idea, when the ideas came, I was just like, I just shouted out. I didn't like really know how to use my voice. Like, it's not now that I'm perfect at it, because like it takes years to feel really
Yeah,
comfortable
man.
with your voice. But like I was way worse then. So after the music was done, almost like pretty much done, it took about like I think about 18 months just to get to finish working on the lyrics and taking vocal lessons and like doing like a huge amount of vocal work on the thing. So at least vocally there's nothing like so like virtuosic about it. Like every normal singer can kind of sing it, um but what's important there, like I had a friend of mine that's like a professional singer, and I told him, yeah, I need to get a professional singer to do it. And then he heard the demos with like the blabbering, and he told me, I see that like you can't really sing right now, but the way that you deliver the songs, I cannot, even if I'm a professional singer, I can make it sound good and correct vocal wise, but it won't sound, as like so cohesive with the song, like in emotional wise,
Yeah.
as you do it.
The emotional flavor is so important.
Yeah, always.
And
Always.
this is the magic formula in music to get the emotional. Uh,
Emotional flow. Yeah.
the emotional flow, but also the way you represent the emotions. It needs to be precise.
Yeah.
And it's very art from how we present emotions in the song.
Yeah. So it's this is what I always wanted to to kind of accomplish, the thing
Yeah.
that I can kind of I know I know how it should feel, but then it took a long time for me, to kind of learn to use my voice in a way that I can afterwards I can press play and I don't feel that I sound like shit. I feel okay. I know that it's not that I'm like, it was never my dream, to be that star singer who sings on his music. But
Yeah, there are a lot of singers that are not correct singers, like correct, perfect
yeah, of
professionals,
course.
and they are very famous. One of them is Kurt Cobain, for example. He's one of the most incredible singers.
Yeah, but then I say, like when you hear his vocals, yeah, it's like there was something about him with his own experience that he
Yeah.
could go in the studio like Steve Albini that who produced In Utero. He would say that like, yeah, like Kurt just like came in and he recorded the whole record in one day and like the vocals. So, and then I think to myself, yeah, like 18 months I'm fucking working on that, like on getting every word the way that I at least not embarrassed by myself, you know. So yeah, it's like it's also a cursing and a bless, a curse and a blessing to have like to have them to have what I had like while working on the record. Like I had the facility and I had, you know, I had the sufficient skills to actually do all this, you know, and like record vocals and punching myself in like hundreds of times. Like an engineer working with me as a singer would kick me out of the studio like in the first hour, you know. So it kind of it let me do things that I was kind of okay, I'm on my way there, but I can I can use my other skills. It's like, you know, like a muscle that you have like a weak muscle,
Yeah.
and you have to and the muscles around it become like become stronger in order to support it.
Mm-hmm. To
So
compensate.
yeah, so what I actually did, like I was really weak um in terms of vocal skills and in terms of lyrics and everything. So I kind of use all my other skills in order to support that. So the song, the next song that I wanted to play is song. It's called, I don't remember. It's called "Fall in Line." Okay, and the the story with it is like it's the only song that's kind of had a different process than the other songs on the album. Like on the other songs, I just like played until some idea came out, and in this song, kind of there was a moment where I kind of I told you like I was kind of like working with other artists and somehow everything kind of stopped and I realized that I have nothing, you know, to do and I have to do something. So that moment when I realized like one project I was investing a lot of time in, it just all of a sudden came to a stop for whatever reasons. And at that point, like at that moment, like it just stopped and I kind of sat down and said, okay, now's the time where I start working on my own things. And and um, and at that same moment I kind of like grabbed the guitar and I was like really really down because you know things end in life and I felt that okay, I have no hope and nothing, and I just like said okay. I grabbed the guitar and this is kind of what came out. Okay, so kind of it became and I don't know, like I didn't know back then that it's gonna be a song, but I felt that okay, I could play that for hours, you know, like, and it also have that like sad color, you know, like with a so so at that moment like I realized okay, I at least going to document it and like press record, open the mic and everything, and just like played something that kind of like had the harmony of the chorus and the verse. And then at that same day, I actually came up with the vocal line of the chorus and even like the bridge, I think. So like this is the only song that I started, and at the end of the day, I was kind of like I had the structure of the
It was
song.
bursting out of you.
Yeah, and it's like
completely.
I really don't believe like in. It's not that I don't believe. It doesn't happen to me. It happens to probably other songwriters that they can say like, yeah, I went out of the car and into the room, and after three songs, 3 minutes, that song came out of me, and it was ready. Like I envy these people, but
It happens, you know.
yeah, but
Definitely.
but it never happened for me. So like this is the closest that I have, like a few hours of kind of like grinding and getting to and not even lyrics. They also say like that in 5 minutes I had the lyrics and I had everything going on. So
Life is a mystery.
all right, so this song is called Fall in Line. Would it have a meaning if you could change your past? And would it tame the feeling of all your second thoughts? Now's the time to fall in line, to honor what you sacrificed, to let yourself be satisfied, as long as you're still breathing. Now you're on your feet, and those summer days have become lost time. Once again you're dreaming, and if so, it's been a while. Now's the time to fall in line, to find another way to fly, to let yourself be satisfied, as long as you're still breathing. I'm stronger since you showed me how it might have been exciting, floating on high winds, and taught me how to find a peace of mind and stay in my lane. Your story only starts filling its lines where mine ends. As long as you're still breathing. As long as you're still breathing.
That was a very interesting song. I like how it starts dark.
Yeah, it's like it was
You have the
kind of.
reverbing, sorry.
Yeah. The thing
Now
is,
you're good now.
it came out of such a dark place. That same moment, like it kind of like captured everything, like, and also now's the time to fall in line, to honor what you sacrificed, and it kind of so not all of the lyrics came out that day, but now's the time to fall in line is it's another like case of lyrics that they it came out at the same day, like the now's the time to fall in line. So I knew that it's gonna be about that thing.
To fall in line.
Yeah,
What
because
is it to fall in line?
fall in line is kind of like it doesn't matter what your own aspirations are, and it doesn't matter like what do you want to achieve and what you want to do. What you have to do right now is to fall in line with what everyone else is doing, kind of like live the life as you are expected, like from from society or for
Yeah.
whatever, like it's okay that that you have kind of like dreams and all kinds of things to to accomplish, but now the only thing you need to do is be like everyone and fall in line. And
Yeah, sometimes this is the case, and this is what you need to do.
yeah, so kind of like, and it's also it on one hand it's kind of like okay, I give up, I don't want to do like anything else, and I'm gonna just like do whatever I'm expected, and not, and that's it, like I have no energy to to pursue anything else. And this is what I felt at that moment, but then actually it really sparked, on the other hand, it sparked the whole process of making the album. And a lot of things that I had to kind of overcome in working on it, because um, I had so many, so many obstacles that I would put on myself, and I also have like a history of not finishing projects.
Music is never finished.
Yeah, but but it's there's a difference between like you can never uh, finish all the songs that you wanted, and it's also you can like never finish a production or never finish a mix in a way that it's like perfect, because like there's always
Always.
something else to add, and another thing to do. But um but for me it always has been the thing that I start something, I have an aspiration, and I kind of like give up somewhere in the middle. And it also almost happened with that, because like as I told you, it was like 3 years the ideas sat on a hard drive, and I also like felt that it's not worth doing anything with them. And then I started doing things with them, but I could also like quit in the middle, where I had like so many difficulties. Like one of the difficulties, the most like the most difficult things for me was to get the vocal kind of acceptable for me, for the record, and also finish writing the lyrics. So like in the beginning I kind of thought I can rely on other songwriter friends of mine, that they can like do writing sessions with me, and they help me and everything. So and actually in, I think, three songs out of the record, of four, I don't remember, I really had like a big help, like a big help in like big chunks of the songs being uh, being written, uh, co-written with other writers.
Right, it's nice sometimes just to be thrown to the water.
Yeah,
and
because
learn
like
how to swim yourself.
because then like if you see like the other 8, I kind of maybe I had like like an idea here or there by some other person that came into the studio and he said, yeah, like that's like you can put that word in there. So it was like this, but then like I had such a difficult process, kind of making the sounds into lyrics, and in a way that it would make sense, to anyone or to myself at least. And also being my being my own like worst critic is I also like wanted to achieve something with the vocals that I would expect from other writers that are way more experienced than me. So
Yeah, it's an interesting journey.
yeah,
I think
yeah,
just the fact, the struggle that you've been through, and nevertheless you kept on going no matter what, and you finished it. It's complete.
yeah. I think like this is the most important thing. I think
Yeah,
it's like that one project that I actually got to finish, even if it's like still not all of it is mastered. And still I like every time I send it to mastering, I still have like a few tweakings that I get in the last minute, but the music is done.
yeah. And just the fact that you finished something that changes the way you think about yourself. You feel more confidence.
Yeah, so
The hormones are changing basically in your body. If you continue doing that again and again and again and again, you will be so powerful within yourself, and imagine what you can do.
yeah, when you accomplish things and you finish. And the thing is like now what I feel since I started releasing it, and it also like took time for me to to even consider starting to release this. um I now like when I was working on the record, I felt that any thought about what I'm gonna do it with it next is going to kind of like shut me down immediately. So like one of the reasons how I could actually finish it is like not thinking about how I'm gonna promote it, and not thinking about who is gonna listen to it at all, or I don't know how it's gonna, how many views I'm gonna get on YouTube. Because like the moment I start thinking about it, I stop thinking about music, and I don't know why, because like I know it's a hurtful subject for me, because like always exposing myself and promoting myself as a musician, as a person, it doesn't matter. Like it has always been a hard thing for me. So now uh, that's great. I have a finished record like that I'm proud of, and I think that it's kind of like it suits me and suits what I'm about. But then communicating it to the outside world,
Yeah.
and saying, yeah, this is here's music, listen to it, whatever, and like it's amazing to me uh, to see like a lot of people who can actually like do it, or even have like even small success. It's for me, I see it, and I think, okay, like how can I get better at it, even if I'm not like, it's not that I'm somewhat good at it, I'm like really really bad at it. So now it's the thing for me to kind of like figure out, if I always like, there was always a thing to figure out, is like, first of all, what the songs will be, what the ideas will be, and then like the production, how it will
Yeah,
sound, and
man.
then what will be the lyrics.
Takes you to a fucking journey you did not even think about.
Yeah, and and
It's
and
crazy.
yeah, so and I knew I'm at the beginning I thought I'm gonna finish it and just like throw it either leave it on the hard drive, doing nothing with it, or just like putting it on, on Spotify, whatever, and it's okay that no one will ever hear it. But then, like, as I progressed in the process, it kind of like, wow, it's kind of like, it's not about me even. It's like, I really think this music needs to be heard, and not because I made it, because like it like a lot of things around it happen in a way that I feel that it's so much bigger than me right now.
Yeah.
Like I kind of like got the ideas because there was something bigger than me wanting to come out. And it's, I know it's kind of like a hippie spiritual speaking, but somehow I had to kind of resort to the hippie spiritual thinking in order to allow myself even to try and do something like this,
There is truth in the hippies, definitely. There is truth in everything. Also, you can see
especially when it
people.
comes to art,
Yeah, you can also see religious people, and there is a lot of truth in religion, but most of it, I think most of them, not of it, religion is beautiful, but most of the people who practice religion, they don't practice it from very sincere and authentic place. They just follow what others are doing because of social conditionings, and we don't want to feel left behind. And
Yeah, and I think like if you look at the like the spiritual studyings, like the religious thing is actually kind of like guidelines in order for you to kind of connect with yourself.
yeah,
Like praying, and it's the same as like like meditating. It's not
it's
like
the same. You say thank you.
we go
about the
into
stuff.
like an area where a lot of people would kind of like argue and start fighting about like religion and things. But I think like the main idea is kind of having a routine in your day when you kind of let yourself be.
Yeah, definitely. And whatever excuse you need for yourself to do it, just go for it. As long as you don't hurt other people, of course.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, go for it. There is many things that we can do. If it's go and pray, and in this pray moment where everyone around us is praying with us, we go into trance and we feel relaxed, and we channel this bigger than us energy, whatever it takes.
Yeah, even like trying to to just relax before something is like stressing you, like
Yeah, breathing, just to pay attention to breath.
Yeah.
Yesterday, I had the podcast that I recorded right here with
okay.
this girl, and she's doing breath work. Her name is Manisha.
All right.
It's such a really beautiful name, and she's a really interesting woman. And just we talked a lot about breath, just breathing, and if you just synchronize your breath with this, I don't know, 5 seconds inhale and 5 seconds exhale, just by doing that for maybe 1 minute, puts you in such a state where you feel way more balanced and way more present in your own body, in reality, just by breathing.
Yeah, but like, the thing is with this is I know my relationship with all these things that I definitely, I definitely have experience with. I even actually did a breathing exercise before I came here, just because I'm coming to I'm going to be in a situation that I never been in, and I just have to kind of like relax.
Yeah, it can be very stressful.
Yeah.
For sure, man.
So the thing is, sometimes when it works and you really feel that relaxation, you kind of trust it. But in my experience, a lot of times where I kind of tried it, or maybe I was trying too much, like there are all kinds of reasons, but sometimes it kind of didn't help me at that certain moment. So, and then I go, no, it doesn't work. Yeah, this shit doesn't work. So It's like, for me, it's a relationship with, like, I'm trying. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes.
Yeah, it's tricky because we're all different. You know, when I tell you 5 seconds inhale and 5 seconds exhale, it doesn't mean this is the truth and this is the only way you can achieve it. But I assume if you start with just 5 seconds inhale and 5 seconds exhale, and let's say that you do it for a week, if you pay attention to yourself, you might realize, it's working, or it's not working. And
Yeah.
then you can think, okay, now it's time for me to get creative. So what can I do with this? For me personally, I like to take a deep breath and just to hold it in my lungs.
Yeah.
And then after maybe 20 seconds, I realize, I can have even more air in my lungs. So I just keep on pushing more air into my lungs and I just hold it, sometimes even for 1, 2, 3 minutes.
Oh.
And it doesn't feel so difficult, you know, it just feels natural. It feels
It
what
depends
I
on
need to do.
it depends on how, like, your breath is very slow, and your body is not kind of kind of hyperventilating, or
Yeah, kind of.
because, like, if you get to a state where you don't really, like, need to have
You can always hold your breath even for 5 seconds.
yeah,
You can
5
always do
seconds,
that.
yeah,
You
but
can do it
not 3
for.
minutes.
That's when you reach this state when you just relax into that, and then it doesn't even
Yeah.
feel like you're struggling. You're just floating.
Yeah, like, anyway, like, what you're saying, you just started a kind of like a whole new subject, like what humans can achieve
Humans can achieve a lot.
with
Yeah,
with
but
this kind of
I'm underlying this thing that you need to experiment with stuff. Also, sometimes it helps me just to let completely go of all the air in my body and have no air at all. So I completely empty, I would say. And it gives me different sensations than if I just hold my breath.
Mhm.
There are many things that you can experiment and you need to see what is good for you. Sometimes when I'm running, and this is a very strong one, if you're running as
Ooh.
well, this is really strong. Sometimes I feel I'm out of breath. And I think for me, at least, maybe for a lot of people, the intuitive thing to do is just to take a deep breath, right?
Mhm.
And to let it go slowly. But the opposite is correct. You want to inhale slowly and let go quick.
Okay.
Because when you inhale, the longer you inhale, you get your heart a bit faster. And you want it because you're running.
Mhm.
You want it to pump the blood a bit faster. So if you're running and you do this kind of breathing exercises, when you inhale very slow and you exhale very quickly, it will be easier for you to run. And you will just feel, no matter how much you ran, you just feel a bit more refreshed.
Yeah, because you still get to that state of kind of relaxed state that you kind of, like, you don't need to, like, really
Yeah.
you don't need to all this. You can do all of this with one long, I don't know,
Inhale.
I
You
think.
just inhale.
Yeah, one long inhale.
Yeah. And when you exhale slowly, you basically make the heart rate go slower.
Mm-hmm.
So when you inhale, your heart goes a bit faster. When you exhale, your heart goes a bit slower. So if you want to speed your heart rate, if you're running and you do slow inhale, so you take the air very, very slowly, then your heart starts to pump faster, and then it brings blood to your to your body parts
Vessels.
more efficient. And I would assume, I'm not a doctor, I don't know this yet, but I assume from experience that because of that, your body works more efficiently, and then it becomes easier for you to run. And usually when I realize that I don't have enough oxygen or air, I do these exercises, and then I realize I can run even faster now. And I just
Wow.
like I put another gear and then it goes.
Yeah, it's a crazy experiment.
Yeah, there is this guy, Dr. Andrew Huberman, or Professor, I don't know. He's like a Stanford or
I think you talked about him in one of your
could
episodes.
be. Man, this guy it's incredible. He's really a nerd about what he's doing, and he's just putting it out there for free. All the knowledge that he's learning. He's a neuroscientist,
Mhm.
so he understands how you use your brain and how the body works the most efficiently. What kind of rituals you can have, what kind of behaviors you can do in order to tap into your body resources. And just the information there, it's for free. It's on YouTube. You can find it, Huberman Labs, on
Wow.
Spotify, Apple Podcasts, everywhere. man, it's incredible. And you have this knowledge for free. Imagine what happens if you listen once a week to an episode, just once a
Yeah.
week, and you do it for a year.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
And
Yeah.
this is what I love about the internet. You have everything out there, and then you have all those tools that you can use for yourself to enhance your life.
Yeah, the thing is, like, if I'm going back to my, my difficulty with, self promotion, like
Mhm.
promoting music, promoting myself as an artist or whatever. So, like, I learned so much about this, like so many amazing information, so much amazing information about it, and then, like, when it comes to kind of implementing what I already know, that's where, like, that's the dead spot for me. That's what I feel.
You feel that you don't know how to implement it, or that
I feel that
the implementation is not so good.
that I kind of, like, I know what I need to do, but then I feel that I feel that I'm not gonna do it well enough.
So you
And
don't
I'm
even
not-
do it. at
Yeah,
all.
like, and also, like, a lot of things to do. I already have like quite a lot of material to to share about my project, and even like what we did here, like when on the podcast. Like, I have a lot of information to share about, like, the whole thing, about the whole journey. But then when it comes to kind of like really sit down and edit it and make it kind of like pack it in a way that will be interesting for someone to see and connect to, I just I feel that that it's like there's too much to do, like
Yeah.
you
You need
have
to learn it.
yeah, and you also, like, you have to to post all kinds of
Yes.
things all the time, and you have to make people know that you're there.
I think in this case, there is the choice. Either you do it yourself or someone else does it for you. And then it's a matter of how do you recruit a team basically to help you out with this music.
Yeah, but no one will ever, you cannot find anyone to work with you until you kind of have something to show them. And
But you
also,
have something to show them. You have music.
but that's it. Like, and then they tell you, okay, I need material for this post and for that post, and I need, like, pictures.
You said you
I
have a
need
lot of
picture.
material, no? What did you say?
And the thing is, like, I have a lot of documentary material, but the thing is, like, uh,
So you need to find someone who can take this material and do something with it.
and edit this maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like it's gonna cost a fortune.
Not necessarily. I don't agree about it.
Because
I think,
he's gonna
how much
need
does
to
it
watch. He's
how
gonna
many
need to watch
prices
hours.
did you already discovered?
I did not even try, because like it's like
That's a big problem, to assume things before we even go for it.
because I think about it, like even like the last episode I heard of Son of a Pigeon. Listen to Son of a Pigeon. It's a good podcast.
Yeah. By the way, if you already bring this up, if you're listening and you came all the way here, please
Wow, that you're
comment
very
somewhere.
brave.
Yeah, comment. I want to know that somewhere, Instagram or on Facebook, whatever. Go to Son of a Pigeon, comment somehow, somewhere. I want to know who are the people who are listening to the podcast.
Yeah.
We would like to know who you are. So which episode was it?
Yeah, it was an episode with I don't remember the last one.
Pinal.
Yeah, with Pina. Yes, Pina Berlin. So you talked about how much some guy charges for an hour, right? Like you can charge $1,000
Yeah.
euros, you can charge 10 euros or whatever. So the thing is, like, when I think of it, you say, like, think of how much you would make for that hour, and then like think about how much you would need to pay someone else. Okay, maybe it's gonna be more if he's more experienced than you. Maybe it's gonna be less if he's less experienced than you. But when I think of it, like someone who does video editing for living or whatever, I don't think it's possible asking of him, like, all right, I have like 20 hours of me just like talking things, and if you can find 3 minutes out of these 20 hours that I don't look like
it
a
doesn't
complete
work like
moron.
this. It doesn't work like this.
Yeah, so
I think first
I have to do it myself. That's
no,
that's the
no. You can do it yourself. You don't have to. I think one of the things that you can do is to, first of all, if you know any good video editor or any video editor, basically, you could just tell them, this is my music, this is what I do. If you like it, I would like to receive some help, some support. And it depends really who you find. And maybe you can do exchange, maybe there is another musician that is also know how to edit videos and you can help him record something. I did it a lot. And this exchange of not having you paying me cash or money, just you giving me some skills in exchange, it can have a stronger bond with the person, and it can lead you to places you never even believed. And this is not money. This is just, let's see how you can help me. Let's see how I can help you.
Yeah, the thing is like you make it sound so easy, like meeting new people and finding people that will connect to what you do, and want to receive something from you and give it something to you in return. But like I told you before, I see like your skills of doing it, and I'm amazed, and it's like, no, I don't know how he's doing it, like
I don't know myself. And
yeah, but the thing is
just
like
doing it.
you're just doing it, and for me just doing it is so hard. I don't know why, like, because like the only way that I could notice you, and the only way we could have met is the way that you did it. You just like put yourself out there, and I really like I didn't even we actually no one knows, so we actually like met when I just saw your work as a photographer, and I wasn't even really looking for a photo shoot or whatever, because I said like, okay, not now, maybe when I don't know, like 3 songs later or whatever. But then like when I saw it, I said like, all right, I have to do a photo shoot right now. This is
Man, I'm blushing like a little kid now.
yeah, this is what I
This is a big compliment. Thank you so much.
yeah, so
I really
like
appreciate you saying
so
these words.
yeah, so what I just like just seeing the like I really loved it, and I said like, okay, I'm gonna contact this person right now, and I don't care like whatever he charges, and I don't care if I can't afford it right now, but I just have to know. I just have to know him. And I told you also, like, maybe even if I can't afford it, we'll meet some other time. It's also cool. But the thing is, you actually made the effort to kind of go to all these groups and say, okay, this is me, here I am. And for me, even I'm really proud in that music, but I always have some kind of like obstacle that I put on myself in order to, no, I'm not gonna, do that post like, here I am and this is my music. It's like it's always hard for me, and I don't know why.
And if you do it, how would it feel if you do it? You imagine now you posted something in a group.
I'll tell you. Okay, I think I kind of the way that I approached you and told you, yeah, this looks great. Let's whatever. Maybe we can do something together. Or I don't know. Like I saw it. That's nice. Maybe. uh, I have always, I always have that feeling that that what if, you know, like I will put it out there and we'll get like how do you call it, crickets.
Crickets. A
So
like and a laughing emoji.
yeah, so
But you know, this is probably what will happen no matter the quality of your music. I'm pretty sure if Queen would release today Bohemian Rhapsody and there will be, I don't know, just another band, it might get lost in all the data there is today. And no one will ever hear this song if it was released today. And it doesn't say that the song is bad. It just say that there is many noise that there is right now happening. You know, because people say, "Oh, back in the '70s, it used to be easier."
yeah,
People in the
wasn't.
'70s probably said, "Oh, back
Yeah.
in the '50s, it used to be easier."
Yeah,
And then people in the '50s would say, "Oh, back in the '20s,
yeah,
it used to
it's
be
easier and it's harder, you know.
There is always challenges and it's part of it. You know, when you become famous, I don't know, when you become successful, when you achieve all the goals that you achieve, there is not a unicorn coming to you and start to lick your wounds and all of a sudden, I don't know, starts to masturbate you. I don't know,
Yeah.
whatever can happen with unicorns, but you don't have the rainbow and the gold shimmering on top of you. And the matter of fact is you will just have problems.
Yeah, the thing is like
They will keep on coming no matter where you are in life.
yeah, so
It's just how you handle them.
yeah, so for me like the for me like the real next step is figuring out, you know, what I'm gonna do with it, because like it I think that I also need to be fine with myself with whatever happens. And until now I could, you know, I lived up to it, you know, because like I released a song and few people know about it, but then, you know, like I didn't have any energy to do anything else with it. So I'm kind of like, okay, it's okay that nothing's happening because I'm not doing anything. But because nothing's happening, I'm not doing anything. So
Yeah, you need to sparkle it somehow.
yeah.
What about going to open mics?
Yeah, I definitely thought about it. And like it's not only that I thought about it, I went to a few, but the whole thing about singing live actually is really new for me, because I worked on the record, but it wasn't like singing live. So like one of the steps is being able to sing live like here with you, like in a podcast, and like whatever happens, if I have mistakes, I don't care, you know, if I fuck up, I don't care. And being in that state of mind when I go to an open mic and perform in front of 10 people or more, I don't know. So um I definitely work on it right now, and also like going out on the streets. Like last year, I went to play my own songs.
Yeah, you do busking as well with your bass.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, I did it with a backtrack of the songs, like one of them that you heard before, and playing with my bass, and it was a comfortable place for me. Um, it was a comfortable place for me performance wise. But then like no one really knows this music, and just like I had very few people approaching me and like saying that like they really loved it, but like it's not a lot, but it just made me feel, you know, that okay, if one or two or five people could connect to it, maybe there are more out there. It's just
Yeah, for sure. Well, first of all, I think your music is really good.
wow.
Just
Thank
to
you.
start with, you know,
Thank you.
as an
Appreciate
album,
it.
it's well made. The songs are good, and the songs are not typical songs. There is a lot of rhythm breaking in some of your songs, and I really like that. It sounds familiar, but not really.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's amazing that you say it.
Yeah, I found
It's
some
familiar,
melodies.
but not really. Like,
Yeah, I can. It's like I heard a little bit of it before, or maybe I felt something, but it's not what I've heard. It's different for sure, and I really like it.
yeah, thank
Also,
you.
the sound is really good, which is important. Yeah, because we need to digest the albums. But what I heard was just the mixing, right? It was not
Yeah, it
mastered.
was not the mastering yet.
It was still sounding very good. And the truth is, those uncomfortable things that you feel that you don't really want to go through, this is exactly where you need to go through.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
totally agree with it.
And you just need to accept the fact that it's going to be sucks.
Yeah,
And you need to accept the fact that you will perform in front of, I don't know, 5 people and you're going to make a big mistake. And
yeah. It's
you
kind
will
of like
feel-
I kind of need to do it in order to move on.
Yeah, and you will feel shame. Maybe you will feel
Yeah.
guilt. You feel bad. You feel you want to bury yourself somewhere. But this is something that if you go through it, the next time it might happen again, and it might happen maybe third or fourth time, but maybe the fifth time you'll say, "Fuck this shit."
Yeah, and also like anyway, I plan to go on stage with it with
Yeah,
other
man.
with supporting musicians with a band, you know. So
You have to grind.
I have to
man.
start somewhere, you know.
Yes.
So like there are always kind of like a lot of small things that should work. But then like when I see like I have, you know, you have to find musicians, you have to find a band, you have to practice. I practice on like playing live by myself, you know, every week now. And I'm kind of I'm going to rehearse. I have a room that I rent with a band, and I go by myself and kind of rehearse with the PA and not at home because like it's hard. But then like I also do this and that, and you have to practice all the time, and you also have to make sure that that the mastering is happening, and then you need to release the thing, and then you have to promote it, and how do you even promote it, and like so many moving parts.
Yeah, but this is so complex, you know. If you start very basic, then what is really important is first to have the mastering. Without the
Yeah,
album,
so-
you cannot do anything, basically.
Yeah, but what do you mean? Like the album is gonna be out like I think in a year or so. But I'm still releasing music regardless of the album not being whole right
You
now.
need to have something out there. If it's a few songs or a full
Yeah.
album, you know, it depends on you. But
Yeah, right now there
yeah.
are 2 songs, and there's gonna be the third, like the one that you heard right now. It's like
yeah, and you need to showcase something. So this is good.
yeah.
And now the question is, what is next? How do you see yourself? You see yourself that you want to have a band and you can support having a band at this very moment, and you have all the people that you know already you want to play with, or you need to meet them.
Yeah, that's the part. Like
You need to meet those people.
Yeah.
So you don't know who they are yet.
I have like only one friend that that plays with me in another band. That he kind of like he heard the music and he said, "Yeah, I'm in. Let's do it." But then like all the others, I
Yeah.
need to
So I think in this case, and this is only one option, you can have many options. You can just perform everywhere you can.
without a band, like
As
on my
yourself,
own.
yeah.
Yeah, with open mics and
Open
this
mics
is what
and have some concerts in some bars. You
what
know,
like
even for a hat.
vocal and guitar.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And with time, people will know you. And when people are knowing you and they like your music, you also get better at performing in front of people. You know, I can say about the podcast, with the first episode that I ever did, it was so different. Now I'm relaxed. You know,
Yeah.
I don't care so much like I used to care in the first episode. And it's not because I'm giving a fuck, but it's because, all right, I got it. I can be more chilled. You know, when you're driving a car, you're not stressed like the first time you ever drove it. And when you perform a lot, then you also feel more comfortable in performing.
Yeah, it's like playing as a bass player in
Yeah.
a band or whatever, like with other artists. like I have the experience. It's like I go on a stage, okay, let's do it, you know?
Simple, yeah.
Yeah, but like now it's also like overcoming the difficulty of kind of, okay, now I kind of push myself to the front and I have no choice. I cannot run
It's
away.
crazy. Yeah, you have to do that.
Yeah, and it's like there's nothing
It's
like
exciting.
yeah, it is exciting, but it's also like very very scary, you know,
Yeah.
like going on stage. And so
Also, roller coaster is scary.
yeah,
It's
and,
fun
and
as
I
fuck,
I
man. I
I never
enjoy it.
been on a roller coaster, by the way,
Really? Do you want to
because
go
it's
on one?
scary. No.
Yeah, what do you think when you want to go on one? Because
I don't
it's
I
very
don't know.
safe.
What?
Usually, I don't know how many percentage of people who really went on a roller coaster died because of a technical
Yeah,
issue.
it's not the safety for me. It's not the safety. It's like, you know, like the airtime and all the. I felt, you know, airtime in different situations. You know, like on a plane and on a car or whatever. But you know, like I know that the feeling that you feel in your gut is not something that would be fun to me. You know, that's it. Like it's not the safety issue. It's
Hey, it's not a pleasant feeling, but
you see, it's
but
not
somehow
pleasant.
you know, just to experience that, it's not a pleasant feeling, you know, when you feel like that you're about to drop and you're dropping and it
Yeah,
goes
this
and
is
it's.
fucking scary. No, I
But
can't. I think
on the
I
other
can't
hand,
handle it.
this instrument was designed and invented in order to amuse you.
Yeah,
That's its purpose. It's not there to scare you. For sure, you feel intense stuff, but then maybe it's a question how you relate to that. And I think roller coasters are amazing, amazing
yeah.
example
But
for
the thing,
this.
when you think about it, like I'm one of like a very small percentage of people that haven't been on a roller
Yeah.
coaster.
What do you think about bungee jumping?
Oh man, no way, no way.
I think this is something that you might want to explore why you have resistance with those stuff.
I don't know.
Bungee is quite safe,
Yeah,
relatively.
it's not. I told
It's
you,
safer
it's
than
not
driving a
about the
car.
safety.
You
It's
drive a car?
yeah.
Car is fucking dangerous, man. I cannot
Yeah,
say
it's
it even
fucking
fucking more.
dangerous. But
It's really dangerous.
but the thing is, like, when you kind of like drive a car, the motion itself, it doesn't make you feel like you're in danger. That's the thing. Like when you're falling down, you just it's okay that it's safe, but you feel that you're gonna hit the floor.
Yeah, that's the beauty of it, but you don't.
Yeah,
like you
but
you
in a
fooled
car,
yourself.
you don't feel that you're gonna crash into other car, right? Like you don't feel like yeah, I'm gonna crash in one
But what
moment. Like,
happens when you're about to crash in another car? How do you react to it? Do you get stressed or you somehow manage your way
it,
through this?
you manage your way through this, but when you're on a roller coaster, you can't like okay, I can stop or I can go in another direction.
No, but you can relax. You can
Yeah,
surrender to the
but I
process.
think there's survival mode when you're about to crash another car, and then you kind of like you go the other way in the last minute. It's like it's not out of a relaxed state of mind. It's out of survival mode. Like, what do? What do I do? Let's do it now.
Yeah, yeah, but somehow survival mode. You know, like let's take example of fighting.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, if you fight someone who knows what they're doing, they will be very relaxed. They will not be stressed. But if someone is getting stressed while they're fighting, then most chances that he will not really be the winner of this fight. Did you ever practice martial arts?
No, never.
It's something that I highly recommend to everybody to try.
Wow,
Yes, anything.
that's a thing that I never thought about.
It's crazy, man. And also, I talked about it yesterday with this with the lady with Manisha. And if you have the safety, the feeling of safety in your body, then you
Mhm.
approach life differently. You're not scared also to speak your thoughts because someone might disagree with you. You know, you can protect yourself even though if it gets a bit physical. And it changes how you relate to everything. And you also put yourself in a stressed position, especially when you're sparring. It depends what kind of martial arts, but if you're doing, let's say, jiu-jitsu, and you're sparring with someone, then the goal of the sparring is either to choke each other or to break your hands / legs,
Wow.
like to have an arm lock or
That
something.
doesn't sound like fun.
It's not fun. It's really not fun. But there is some satisfaction that comes afterwards, because now you're lost, but it's a game. In real life, he could choke you to death.
Whoa.
And also the other way, now you it's a game, so you don't kill this person, but somehow you manage to put yourself in a position that you have power over this person, and you can take his life if you want to, or you can break their arms.
Yeah, it's like the moral of this whole thing is like gaining the power to overcome
It's not about
even yourself,
It's about feeling those primal feelings, those primal sensations of this is me fighting my life right now. When you're drowning, I don't know if it ever happened to you.
Yeah, almost maybe.
Yeah, I had it like a few months ago, almost a year. I almost drowned in Portugal.
Whoa.
Yeah, I don't really know how to swim, and I thought, I'll just go to the other side of this river.
Oh.
And it was deep enough I could not stand. So I started to panic.
Yeah, and
I started to
panicking
panic.
is like the worst thing that you can
I started to panic because I swallowed a little bit of water.
Ah.
This is why I started to panic. And in this mode, what you do, either you cannot die, man. So you cannot just let go and that's it. So you start swimming back. And because I swallowed water, then it was difficult for me to breathe.
Wow.
So because I did not breathe properly, my muscles start to get really sore.
Everything is wow. So what did you do?
I just kept on going. There is no choice. I cannot drown, man. Fuck no. I want to live. So you just keep on going. You keep on going. You keep on going. You're swimming, and your muscles. There is nothing left in your muscles, but somehow you still find what you can to squeeze.
Amazing that you did it.
It's not amazing. It's just it's power that all of us can tap into that. So in this moment, something else triggered that. But it's there, And the moment I just arrived to the shore, I just sat down, catch my breath.
Relaxed.
But it was very good experience. It was not positive at this moment, but it's strengthening. That's the word. And if you can tap into feeling similar to something like that, and then you wake up in the morning and you think about it, that I can drown. And it can be any kind of drown, You can drown in sea of musicians that no one can pay attention to you. Or you can drown in not having enough money. Or you're just on the edge of your financial, or maybe with relationships, whatever, Everyone got their stuff. So you can swim.
Yeah, but I think also like overcoming your own fears and things that kind of like stopping you from doing things.
What about the fear who you will become if you will not do certain things? What is bigger? The fear of not doing?
I'll tell you why. You're not afraid of it because you're kind of like you're already there. Like the point where you didn't do enough, where you didn't get to where you wanted, this is where you are right now. So it's not scary. It's not to say even comfortable, being in that comfort zone and not doing anything because.
But what about, let's take music. So you do not promote your music.
Let's say.
You don't go to open mics.
You
don't have any acoustics. You don't take any action. Fast forward 5 years. You still haven't done it.
Mm-hmm.
What will be your reality?
Oh, I cannot know.
What will scare you that might happen in 5 years if you don't take action?
You mean like what's gonna be scary for me then, or like how? Like is it?
Imagine now we are in 2028.
Yeah, and I haven't done anything. And
No actions, no nothing. You have the mastered album, but you never performed the songs live.
Yeah,
You never promoted it in any way.
it's just there.
Yeah. And how would you feel now? Put yourself with.
I feel. I think I'd feel like it's a miss. You know, like I missed something. Like
You would feel regret.
yeah.
Is it something that you would like to live with?
No, because I did a lot of things that didn't end up as I thought they would in the beginning. But at least I've done them, and like so. I think I would have regretted not doing them, even though they came out like really bad and kind of like caused a lot of hurt for me.
Yeah. In the end,
That's
they
a good
somehow
point.
taught you some lessons. And imagine now what happens if you do go after it. What happens if you once a week you go to either open mic or you make some kind of a bar concert? What if you do find a way you can post on social medias, which will be easier for you? What if you can find a way you can earn extra 200 euros and then you can pay to someone who will do all the
Yeah.
stuff that you don't want to do? You know, there are many ways. And if you do it for a year, imagine what you can do if you do it for 2 years.
Yeah, the thing is like
Imagine
now,
in 5 years what
Yeah.
happens and how your life can be when you take action
of
versus
course,
not
and
taking action.
like what I feel right now, and this is what also maybe also like one of the sources of my inability to do things and stress over things is like I feel like now is the time frame that I need to act, and if I don't act like now in the coming year or so, all right, so forget about everything.
Yeah, man,
So-
I feel the
and
same.
this is also like stressful, you know, like on one hand it's kind of like, okay, I have to really act on it right now, so in 5 years I've achieved something, but also like now I just have to do it, and it also like cripples you in
Yes,
some sort of
true.
way.
Yeah, that's why it's so important to dissect it and to see what are the steps that you need to do and what you can actually do and
Yeah,
what
and
is
get
more
a good
important.
therapist.
Yeah, get a therapist. Get whatever helps you, man.
Yeah,
Me, it's the
yeah.
weed, man. Weed is my therapist. I love it. And it just relaxes me. And sometimes, when I'm really with steamed, after
Yeah.
using so much brain power, somehow I smoke a little bit and I have my energy back and I'm back in focus.
That's great. Like for me, sometimes like I have like kind of certain time frames that weed is really good for me, and sometimes that it's like really bad for me, and
Yeah.
a lot of I feel like now I try to like let's say even this week I had to kind of send out a mix, or maybe even like prepare things for the podcast, and I said to myself, okay, today I can't start with smoking, because if I start smoking now, I'm not like I'm going to just like relax and do nothing, because I want to relax.
Yeah, it's very individual. For
And-
me,
yeah, and
it's
other
so
times,
different, man.
I'm kind of like in, I don't know, in editing something or whatever, and then I feel, yeah, I want to go have a few puffs, and then I go have a few puffs, and I come back, yeah, that's good. I'm into it. So it's like it's a different reaction for the same action.
Yeah, but this is weird. I said because I have a joint in front of my eyes,
Yeah.
so that's why it jumped for me. Also, one of the habits that are very beneficial for me is to go running, and this is something that I don't enjoy usually, but it's good.
Yeah, it's my own activity is like to go to the gym.
Mm.
But then, like, because I work, I have that day job like 3 days a week, and it's like very, very physical. So it leaves me like with one time that I can go to the gym a week, but that also like feels like okay, it's much better than nothing,
Yeah.
at least in this stage, because like I had like times that I could go to the gym 3 times a week, and I felt like very content with it. Like at least like I'm taking care of my body and everything is in the right place.
Running is not for the body. Running is for the mind.
Yeah, but
For me, at least.
yeah, but it's also like it's also physical.
It's physical, yeah,
And also going to the gym is kind of like you
Yeah.
kind of concentrate on things.
yeah, definitely.
But yeah, like so like now the next step is, as you said, like I'm going to perform in open mic nights or whatever I can starting this summer, and of course like find people that can play with me in the band, and
I think they will show up once you start doing this stuff.
I hope so.
It's
I hope so.
there is something with life, the universe, call it whatever. But once you start following what is it that you really want to do, and you take those steps, it's kind of falling into its own
Yeah, it's
place.
kind of like from what you're saying right now, I understand. Like it's not only about like looking for musicians right now. It's about first of all get going out there, and then and then preparing myself more. Like the preparation I do right now is the preparation for playing out myself. Not even not even a band at that point, because it's still not the next step.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, but it might come quicker than you think. You don't
Yeah,
know.
because like I'm kind of like doing everything all at once, like
Yeah.
releasing music, going out on the streets, and whatever, putting one post in 2 months, whatever it is.
You can do a schedule posting on Facebook.
I know, but it's not the schedule that bugs me. It's like how to what do I have to show right now? Like I have nothing to show. Like this is what I feel. Maybe I have a lot to show, but for now it's like I went one week I went to the rehearsal room, and instead of rehearsing on the PA, I just thought I'm going to do some live videos of myself to put on socials and whatever. And then like I realized, okay, it worked pretty nice on the PA, but recording wise, it's gonna take time, until I feel comfortable with my performance, because I don't know.
Yeah, I think you don't have to go with the internet as well, as hard as you think you must
Yeah.
go with it.
Yeah, I think so, because like I played here, and it was like far away from perfect, and it was like really far from the record, and it was. But then like I told you, okay, whatever. It had mistakes and it had like whatever, but I don't know, like I felt comfortable in that moment, so whatever.
Yeah, what I mean,
Even
is
though it's recorded and it's gonna stay until I die,
until the end of the internet.
Yeah.
What I meant is that just by then I forgot now what I want to say. We talked about the song.
Yeah, songs and
Papa, do not do weed before podcast.
too much.
I just had the thought and it just
Yeah.
disappeared from my
Yeah.
head. It just ran away.
Yeah, like
like
the internet. Don't be hard on what you think you
Oh,
have
yeah.
to do with the internet. Yeah.
the internet, true. So what I say, you don't have to be on social media to be known, and I think it's even better if you show up in person instead of really taking care of social media.
And what do you mean by that? Like just showing up in
Yeah, I
certain
think
places?
it's way more stronger if someone chooses to go to open mics or to perform once a week or twice a week. It's more powerful than posting every day on social media.
But then how will people come to shows if they don't know about you?
They will know about you. If you're good at what you're doing,
If they didn't hear it, they didn't see a post on Instagram that you're gonna perform whatever.
the fact is that no matter where you're going to perform, it's going to be at least one person who will listen to you. And probably you have friends, so they can come, they can bring their own friends. And probably there are also some random people who pass by and they see, oh, someone is playing the guitar. for us, it seems natural and normal. Oh, we just play the guitar. But for some people, it seems like we're doing magic. And
Yeah.
sometimes you just see someone sings and play the guitar, and they just see what's up. And if it's good, they might stay. If you capture their attention. And if you're good,
Yeah.
people will talk about you. And if you're really good, people will say, "Oh, come to his concert. He's not on Facebook, but you really don't want to miss it."
So that's like a good next step for this summer for me. Like what
Yeah.
I planned, but I actually, like I have to kind of feel it more excited and pumped up just doing it. And on that note, whoever listens to us right now, invited to to kind of connect with me in any way possible, through Instagram or Facebook or whatever. If you search Hollowfame, do I have to spell it or
Hollow. It's
Hollowfame, like
hollow.
Hollow, HOLLOWFAME.
Fame.
Yeah, if you search that, you're gonna have like the first link to a landing page with all the information, with all the music, all my socials, and everything else. Just like you're welcome, whoever you are, you're welcome to connect with me through these platforms. And the next song is coming out on May 19th. This is called Fight a Wave, the song that we heard before. And yeah, I think
It's time to close it.
yeah, I think so. Like I had so much fun. I was so, like I told you, I was on the train doing breathing exercises. I was not sure, like, am I gonna fuck it up or whatever. Like it was kind of stressful, but then, but it was. I think it's the same like with the photo shoot. I kind of like I came, and I trusted you that you would make me feel comfortable. Whatever, like I won't have to think about it. So it was like really fun, like at least, I think maybe it's hard for me to kind of like going on socials and say like, hey, I'm here, I have good music. But when I can just like speak about the music, I can get excited, and that's more exciting to me than
Here is another idea. You can gather around some musicians and you can do a kind of a production talk or something like this. You can break down your own productions, or you can bring some songs production that you like. And you
yeah,
can break it down.
and then like work my ass off like you do on your podcast.
Yeah, it's worth it. To have community, it's worth it.
Yeah, like it's I just like
worth
also
it.
like wanted to tell you, and it's good that I remember now what I wanted to tell you. Like it's also like there are so many talented musicians and people and interesting people going through this podcast until now that I listened to, and but the whole thing is like it's so amazing that you kind of like you started it and you're doing something that is so great for the community, whatever community it is, like musicians in Berlin, musicians in general.
Yeah, my
Or-
plan is to go some touring, wherever I will be in the world.
With a podcast or with your Son of a Pigeon?
All of it.
Yeah.
All of it.
Yeah, like you
So-
want to kind of connect your music and writing with the podcast, and kind of like doing a show followed by a podcast.
That would be
What did you
interesting,
think
huh?
about the show?
Let's bring someone from the crowd.
Yeah.
Let's talk now for 3 hours and all of you are going to listen.
Yeah, like where did you grow up? How did it make you feel?
Oh, no, this is crazy, man. No, music separate and podcast
Yeah,
separate. But somehow it's the same.
But the touring,
character.
you mean like touring with your music? Right.
Also with the music, but also I just like to travel. So maybe some days I can come to
Yeah,
some
like-
cities,
like,
and I can prepare it ahead.
Yeah, that's a
And
dream.
meet some local musicians and to
Just
talk with them.
exploring.
And what I like the most about the whole thing is actually the performance that the artists are doing. I love the recording. I love to put the microphones. I love to mix it. I love when they sound amazing. And I love that I have the skills and I can contribute it to other people.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what really turns me on about doing the whole podcast. The editing, I hate it, man. This is why I don't edit anything. Just
Yeah.
cut a little bit here and here to make it nice, but I don't really
Yeah, it's hard to
edit.
kind of like go all the places
Yeah.
and just like making them
A podcast of an hour would take you maybe 2 hours to edit if you know what you're doing.
Mm-hmm. Podcast
Imagine.
of 3-4 hours take 20 minutes.
Yeah, something like that. Maybe with the help of AI.
Yeah.
Cool, man. That was a really good podcast. I really enjoyed how
Alright.
it was. Like first part, you're there as a teacher, and then second part, we just talk.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I don't feel that I was teaching. I was kind of like just showing my process, and then I kind of the second part was like, okay, you heard where I'm confident now. Like there's like real life, and sometimes like I don't know. Like every single person I think has like their own drawbacks and their own things that are stopping them. And I actually like the thing is like the music that I wrote kind of shares that part of me as well. So why not also like talk about it, even if it's sometimes negative and it's sometimes like it's not good to show your weakest parts as an artist, and you kind of have to be strong and show that you're larger than life. But
No, I think it's only human. We cannot really sustain this. We are so big. We must.
yeah, so
Fall
I just
down.
so I just realized that like it's okay that some things in the process are still not have been revealed to me, and some things I still don't know and I don't know how to tackle. And I'm learning.
Yeah,
all the
and as
time.
long as we keep on going, that's what's important. As we keep on going on the uncomfortable things that we don't want to do,
Yeah, all right.
we'll finish with that.
Finish with that. Amazing. Thank you, man. Thank you
Thank you,
for
brother.
inviting me.
Ciao, everybody.
Bye.
Ciao.